internet video friends. Today I am doing another unboxing. This time it's the LaMetric Time. I believe that's what that says. LaMetric Time. This is a clock, or what do they call it? A connected clock for home and business. Winner of the Red Dot 2016 award. Yes, and as the box says, it shows clock faces, real-time news, social and digital metrics, smart home display, DIY personalized apps, if this, then that, family display, lights on, off, toggle, smart switch. Look at all the stuff on this box. Apps for everyone, apps for business, which is separate from everyone. Create your own specifications, WLAN, power adapter, etc. So yeah, this thing is festooned. But basically this is an internet-connected, cloud-connected display that can show a clock as well as other various information. And it's got what looks like a nice RGB display on it. And most interesting to me is the fact that you can write your own apps for it. It has an API. You can push information to it, do things over the cloud, apparently for free. Or at least as long as the company remains around. So let's see what's in the box here. So inside is the device itself, wrapped in plastic. We'll just set that aside for the moment. A quick start guide in under there. A couple of compartments. In here we have power adapter. And we have a couple of different connectors, one for the UK and one for Europe, or at least many parts of Europe. So this is one of those things where this pops off and you can pop one of those on. Fine. And in here is a micro USB cable. So apparently that is how one powers this thing. Set the box aside. Take a look at the quick start guide. I'll set these power adapter things aside. In very small print in a variety of languages. So we'll unwrap this thing. Every time I pick it up, I squeeze it and I press this button inadvertently. Fortunately, it doesn't have a battery or anything, so it's not like it's doing stuff. Okay, first impressions. It has a sort of soft touch plastic, hard plastic, but you know, it's got that, I don't know, it's got kind of a soft rubbery feel, but not really rubbery. The bottom definitely, it feels rubbery in the sense that, yeah, that will not slide along the table, whereas if I were to foolishly put that slides a little bit. I don't want to scratch it all up right away. So here we have, according to the guide here, there's an ambient light sensor on top, which is probably that. A screen. Let's see, part 3 and 4, you got a left navigation button, an action button, a right navigation button. Of course, on the back is the micro USB connector and audio out, which is kind of interesting. Don't know what that's good for. Then we've got speaker on both sides. 8 and 9 speaker, volume down, volume up on the left side, and what are we up to? On off on the right side. So that's the power button. Okay, so what do they say to do here? Turn on the device. Connect the LaMetric Time to a power outlet via the USB cable and power adapter. We'll do exactly that. Okay. Put the USB cable in there. Be nice if it were USB-C at this point, but I don't know, I think this is Well, judging by the 2016 award, I guess this has been out for a little while. Okay, so that's it plugged in, and I'll press this button to presumably turn it on. There we go. Took a moment to start up. LaMetric. ... Going back and forth. The display is behind a sort of smoked plastic thing. And it's not color altering, but all right, now we have a clock, a bunch of dots, and a Wi-Fi symbol. It's not color altering, but it definitely makes it look a little fuzzy. Now we have, I don't know what that said, LM9068, and now that symbol again, and an arrow and a clock. I don't know what that's telling me, so let's see what the instructions say. I can't decode that. It looks like an O with a I don't know, Tetris piece in it or something. Okay, step 2 is to download the smartphone app. So I suppose I will download the app and then I will return to making this video. Goddamn App Store is so slow. Either the App Store is down or it's just abysmally slow. I'm just staring at this loading thing. So frustrating. So I'm thinking maybe this icon on here is a smartphone that's meant to be a phone, and it's phone, arrow, clock. So this thing is the clock, and that's the phone. And honestly, Apple, what is going on here? Loading, spinning. I really don't. I'm not getting crapola out of the App Store. So I guess I can't play with this thing. Not my connection, since that loads quickly. App Store. Down. Possible problems at App Store, according to downdetector.com. I don't know how to interpret this, but Apple says all servers are operating normally. That's kind of true. How frustrating. This is the IoT world we live in. Nothing. Just stuck loading. No App Store. So, isn't this fun? Completely crapped out. Do I have to reboot my phone? I don't know. This is infuriating too. I don't know if you have an iPhone, presumably you're familiar with this infuriation. When you shut it down, you don't really know at what point you can start it again. So you end up pressing the power button, no, too soon, it hasn't finished shutting down, wait, press it again, how long do I hold it, press it, hold it, press it. It's like there's no more of the thought that used to go into these products. That was what attracted me to Apple products in the first place. They seemed like they went the extra mile to realize that, oh, you know, this interaction needs to be perfect and enjoyable and just work, but not anymore. Now it is full of frustration. All right, let's open the App Store. Nope. Still down. Still just says loading. There we go. Hey, it loaded. So What was that? 10 minutes? All right, it wants to send me notifications. What value could these notifications possibly be? No, sir. Now I have to create an account. I'll be back after I've done that. Okay, here we go, finally. Make sure it's switched on. You see the following image. Yes. It's unfortunate that this cable comes out the bottom, so I can't easily prop this thing up. Maybe I can use... shit. Picking it up again, I've squeezed it accidentally, pressed the button. Which didn't do anything yet, but I really don't want to keep accidentally pressing that button. Okay, there. That's sort of propped up. So here's this thing. Next, go to your phone's Wi-Fi settings and connect to the... Okay, so that's what that weirdly named network is there. So now I'm supposed to go in my Wi-Fi settings and connect. This is such a tedious process to set up devices that work this way. It's a thing now. Very common thing. Of course, the alternatives tend to be worse. People keep coming up with all kinds of crazy workarounds for having to connect to a temporary private Wi-Fi. Okay, I've done that, and now I've come back to this app, which is the next step. Step 2, come back to this app. I've come back to this app. Here I am, back to this app. I'm back to this app. That's what I'm back to, this app. Yep, I'm all connected to that Wi-Fi, and I'm back to this app. Oh, now it's suddenly going. Now I'm supposed to connect to my real Wi-Fi network. So let's do that. Set up. Set up. Set up, by the way, set up is a noun. So you can perform setup or perform the setup procedure, or it's time to get the setup done. It's one word. If you set something up, that is 2 words. So don't say set up the app with one word. You could say set up the app we are going to set up now. Everybody screws that up. It drives me crazy. Okay, so the clock is going now. Little extra effort they could have put into display the correct time on their icon, but that doesn't matter. And now I can make it mine with apps. Your phone cannot connect to LaMetric Time to configure it. Your Wi-Fi network configuration prevents devices from communicating with LaMetric Time. In order to resolve this issue, you will need to disable AP, access point isolation. AP isolation, also known as client isolation or guest mode on your router. Well, guess what? That is not turned on. I know what network I have this on. It is a very specific network that is very specifically not blocked. So that was temporary, and it seems to have, after a few moments, realized that it is in fact working. So tap to configure LaMetric Time. So do I tap that or do I press got it? And UI, troublesome, right? Tap. Or is it telling me to actually tap it? I know it's not telling me that. All right, so here it is. I guess I tap there to configure it. Okay, so yeah. Looking at that, drag to app to reorder, duplicate, or delete. Reorder, duplicate, or delete. Okay, tap to configure app. Next, yes, plus to install new apps. Configure Bluetooth speaker, volume, brightness, update software. Well, I assume that this will have an update already, so I'm just going to go straight to software update and see what happens. Yep. Meanwhile, my Nest camera is sending me faulty notifications. Nothing works. Nothing works. I have all the notifications turned off in the Nest app, and it just keeps sending them to me. Downloading. So this has a fix for devices that do not restore their time after reboot. Let us know if it does not work for you. Weather app now display pressure with 2 digits after the comma. Oh boy. Are they from France? Are they going to display the numbers localized incorrectly? UI fix that could cause Bluetooth on notification to be not displayed in auto scroll mode. Fix for issue that could cause device to not preserve current app in locked mode. Don't forget to upgrade LaMetric Time app to V1.7.8. It has some fixes as well. So only 3 typos in the software update information. Let's see if I change the volume, what will happen. It knocked it down. Well, I'm propping this up as, that's the best I can do. Sorry. So when I change this volume, it shows a volume indicator on the screen. It doesn't actually make a sound. Sound would be helpful. Bluetooth speaker off. I suppose I want to keep it off because realistically, the last thing I need is a crappy Bluetooth speaker. So I don't know if that software update is continuing to download in the background. Let's find out. Now the software update screen just says loading. Install now. Look at that. Okay, my LaMetric has started update process. Several minutes it will be unavailable in the mobile app. Please do not disconnect LaMetric 00A0 time from the power source. Gives you a real good feeling about the quality, doesn't it? So while we're waiting for this to reconnect, since I guess that's what it's doing, it's updating, and this presumably will reconnect once it's done updating. I don't know, clock -X- and the phone, I guess that's saying it's not connected to the phone. Fine. I suppose there's a button I can press to buy one. User guide, a FAQ, support, that's probably that, and then I could add a second one. So we will watch this firmware update. As it's loading up for a moment, it says lame. I don't actually think this is lame. I mean, I'm pretty sure like it's a nice. I think. I mean, it should be a nice RGB LED display that can sit on the desk and I can push messages to it, and that's really all I care about. I just hope that I can do this in a useful way. Okay, so it's back. So let's check out the apps. We've got clock, fine. Automatic time zone, sure. It's not in 24-hour mode. I guess one nice thing is the settings are immediate. Clock face, none. And now I have, okay, so I can choose icons. Let's try smile. There we go, first bit of color on the thing. So there's a little smiley face. We can select other ones. Not too happy about the American flag right now, so we'll just leave that. Let's try fireworks. Yeah, colors are good. I'm gonna stop. I have to stop scrolling through these icons. They're very entertaining, and I guess I could draw my own. So yeah, I don't know. Do I have to choose a color? I guess I have to choose a color. So all of these, apparently, it's got like this full RGB color selector. So that's interesting. Animation, yeah, a bunch of weird features. I'm not too excited by making a custom icon. There was a Knight Rider. There we go, Knight Rider. We'll leave the Knight Rider on there for the moment. So there's that. Then we've got day of week. Oh, that's nice. It's got little things underneath, so you can see the day of week, day of the week, Friday, and yeah, show date. Let's try weather. Okay, there's weather. So it's saying 57 Fahrenheit, and oh, that went away. There, wind. Oh, just so you get to understand it. Water, 44%. So that's a sun with a cloud. I guess that means partly cloudy. 12 mile per hour winds from the I don't know, and 44% humidity. Hey Google, what's the current weather?
In Westbury, it's 57 and sunny. Tonight, it's predicted to be 50 and clear.
So I'm not sure I understand the little cloud because it's really not cloudy outside, but that's okay. So I can configure the weather app, wind speed, humidity, pressure, precipitation, visibility. Radio, interesting app. Let's press play. So that's the speaker. All right, let's try the stopwatch then. Shows centiseconds. Okay, there's the stopwatch, and there's the hundredths of a second. Fine. Now, presumably now, of course, this. That would have been great, you know. It's like I'm trying to time the race, and it was like 3 second lag. Yeah, it's not very useful. But presumably you're not going to do that from your phone, right? You're not going to do this anyway. Who the hell needs a stopwatch? Yeah, so there is a button on top of it, and the lag from pressing that button is not nearly as bad. It's only a few tenths of a second. All right, and so presumably, oh, no, don't. So how do you reset the stopwatch? Hold it down, I'm guessing? Yeah. So that resets it, that starts it. Again, I don't care about the stopwatch, but it's interesting to know that there are, you know, the physical buttons are a thing. Timer, that might be more useful. And yeah, so this, let's try to control it from here. So if I press that button, that just starts counting down. These scroll to other apps. Okay, so that's now paused, and I can start it again. And then if I hold the button down, that reset it. Can I? Yep. And if I hold the button down, there I can, I guess, make this, I don't know, 25 minutes. Yeah. So this just scrolls through likely numbers. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. And then when you're done, I guess you hold it down. Yep. So there's a little timer. I mean, I could see the utility of having something like this to, you know, on your desk, and you could set it. It's you know, it's pleasant to look at as far as that goes. But I think what we really want here is to try some of the more interesting apps. Okay, so here's Message Board. I will add the Message Board app. Added. Okay. There's the message board. Here I am testing out my new overcomplicated internet-connected clock. Let's see how it works. I totally forgot to do punctuation and stuff, but who cares? I don't do a lot of dictation. Oh, so now I need to turn that on visible. There we go. So that is that's workable. It's, I mean, in real life, the scrolling is what is okay. Like you can read it. It's not particularly blurry. Like there's not a persistence effect problem. It does, as you might have seen there. It's not completely smooth. There's a bit of jitter and sometimes like outright pausing. And also, having implemented a few types of scrolling matrix things in the past, there are some. I imagine that there are people who have figured out how to do this, right? That they make display signs, and there's probably some voodoo to it, or at the very least, some trickery that you do to make it pleasant to the eye. This is not that. As you're reading this, it feels like there's something wrong going on over here where the characters are emerging from, and also when it starts, it doesn't start properly, and it doesn't end properly either. So if I were to be picky, I mean, I'd be picky about that. Yeah, I'm watching it, and it feels a little bit unpleasant, but I can live with that. All right, so this could turn into a very long video as I try out dozens and dozens of different apps. let's just go to, is this all? No, I just hadn't loaded the full list yet. So there's a Philips Hue, which is kind of weird. Yeah, it seems like you get to the bottom, right? It's done, and it's actually loading more, but there's no way to see that it's loading more. So you just wait a few seconds and then scroll some more. So there are a lot of apps in here considering. I mean, for something that, costs $200, I guess this was a Kickstarter or something like that at one point, so that might explain why a lot of people signed up for it. Okay, so I have now connected that, and we have the option to track an account to track, and track, I don't know what that means, show tracked account, and notify. Track mentions, tweets, and followers almost in real time. I see. So, all right, well, I guess I would track myself, right? I could track certain other people, but track myself. And then what happens if I go in here? Oh, I see. Are these all checkboxes? Oh, it's just one. You can choose one. Track my own tweets. So yeah, sure. That was a video I posted yesterday. Now, if I do mentions, it'll be garbage because, yeah. Yeah, see, there's a lot of confusion. Most of the mentions of my Twitter handle are not me. They're people who don't understand how things work. You know what search means. Track search terms. Oh, okay. So I could have this like displaying tweets about the Long Island Railroad. Yep. So people complaining about the Long Island Railroad, I guess I can just have that just scroll by all day long. And I'm not sure what notifications is for, but I mean, it might be trying to show notifications to the phone, but well, I already can get that from Twitter. So I guess I'll leave that off. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. This is, whoops, oh geez. You can't pick it up without accidentally pressing the button. So this is the LaMetric Time. It seems okay. I mean, hardware-wise, and there are a lot of apps for it. I guess really the value depends on the apps. Is it something that is useful? I'm, my goal with this is to make, well, not really to make an app, but I want to. I have various information that I want to display, like meetings and things like that. I'm actually curious before I finish up here. Is there anything that shows your calendar? Daily agenda. So we've got daily agenda, tag info, and send a calendar. Let's see what this is about. This is not a native speaker of English, but application displays time left to the end of the meeting, free time slots, and daily agenda. Put LaMetric inside the meeting room and motivates your colleagues to finish in time. Put LaMetric on the desk and indicate colleagues how many time you are busy or know your free time. Just connect to Google account, select the calendar you like to track, and it works on its own. Okay, that's cool because that's kind of it's the app I was going to make. So I'll have to try that out. I'm not going to make a whole video about that, but yeah, it's interesting. It's a little plasticky light toy sort of thing, but I think to get decent RGB LED matrices and chain them together and everything, I don't know that you'd necessarily be able to do better. And this is in a nice case, and whoops, I accidentally pressed the power button, but not enough to turn it off. Yeah, so altogether, it seems okay to me. It's a little pricey, but again, be hard to do this in any other way for less. So, bye.